Where did we stop again po?
I'll have an overview of I mean like a recap of our previous topic, and yeah, we could we could share information about this. So it's fine na it's not just me who's talking about this last portion of the prelim that we need to discuss. So this is like the last coverage of of our midterm exam, so the education institution. So basically in this lecture, we just talk about the importance of education in a country. So somehow the ability for people to find merit, to find knowledge, or to actually receive knowledge and use those knowledge to actually be productive citizen. So as introduction last time, we know that the Asian family values education. We also was able to mention na in Asian family, they're actually in Asian family, they value education so much to the point that they look at it like a treasure. Diba? They make sure that their children will get the best of education there is. Unlike in the Western world, for them, following purpose or enjoying life is actually the eternal parang the eternal duty that they must possess. Pero they have
Yes.
they're not like the Asian upbringing. In Asian upbringing, you study by hook by crook. Even you're having fever, you're having toothache, you must go to school, never miss a class. So actually up until my generation, taray parang it's been long ago. But my generation, even we're sick, we're really being forced to go to school. I could actually see some remnant way back the face-to-face era, wherein I can see students, even they're sick, their parents really are pushing them to go to school. But as time passes by, I'm noticing na even as simple nga lang, like for example, they are late sleeping last night, the parents now will not have the children go to school already because they're lack of sleep. So that's actually a good parenting style kasi they're thinking of the health and the focus of the child, kasi for sure the parents may be predicted that the child will just sleep at home. So that's like already modern approach in education and parenting. Pero back then, you just really have to go to school. That's how important they view schooling. Okay. So also in the previous discussion, we're actually able to define what is education. So anything that you're able to acquire, okay, anything that you're able to acquire knowledge. And the beautiful thing pa nga, the root word of school in Greek is actually means leisure. So I've been seeing a lot of complaints already in the beginning of classes on social media. There's this one shocking story. Have you seen it? Like a teenager committed suicide because he wasn't able to pass his module because the teacher
Yes
refused it.
po.
'Di ba yun? So if
Yes.
you when I saw that, I was like so sad because education's no longer fun. Parang education is life threatening pa in some cases. So that's why when I encounter again this word and I'm teaching it to you, parang how ironic to call it leisure when in present time the modern students view it as a punishment, as something that that they cannot handle. We cannot blame the child. We also cannot blame the teacher. I feel like the child is too modern, too Gen Z, and I feel like maybe the teacher is too like old generation, that the teacher value so much about work ethics and being punctual. Meanwhile, the child wasn't able to accept that rigorous training. Pero yun lang, that's my tip with you. Now that you're here in RICS, and I know you're acquiring so much information kasi I've been hearing a lot of alumni, they keep on chatting us, grabe teacher, super good quality pala the things that we're receiving in RICS. Because currently daw, they're really not receiving any learning, na parang, and even before, even in face to face, it's not as concentrated as what we are, as our approach. So basically, what we also want to share to you is yung discipline, 'di ba? Tsaka yung your heart, your strength. When a teacher or a professor, rather, when a professor belittle you, mock you, say something bad about you, you just really have to swallow it. You just really have to use it as a stepping stone to be a better person. So I'm giving you a heads up already. The moment you get out of RICS, teachers will not treat you the way we're treating you. It's really different out there. So you have to be brave.
Suck it out there.
Yes, you have to really be brave. Never quit, never back down. Okay. Anyway, you can easily chat your teachers, just vent out. Pero much better if you survive it on your own. I'll be more proud pa na after 4 years you'll go back to us and then you'll be like, teacher, ganito, my first year, my second year, my third year, but I'm okay now. So I would rather have that rather than first few months you're crying to RICS already and like that. So yan lang. That's like what I'm trying to generalize in here. Still, look at education as leisure. Okay? Look at it as leisure. The same before. That's in terms of its history, we know that already na that it started as simple as teaching how to survive up until it developed to simple as arithmetic, the triple R rather, reading, writing, arithmetic. Pero that is actually very very wrong kasi it's not really all triple R kasi 'di ba writing is W and then arithmetic is A because it's like that. So anyway, lang para for you to easily remember. So from learning how to survive up until to sharpening analytical thinking. Okay. And also, I believe this is where we stop the functions of education. So, in different perspective, in the functionalist perspective, they look at education as training the child so that they know their purpose in the society, so that they know their role in the society, that there's this part to play, na they will not just study just for the sake of studying. They're gonna study because in the future, there will be the next doctors, the next engineers, because life will not stop just because the elders stop living. It must be continuous, parang passing down of duty and obligation. So that's how functionalists view education. It's like passing down the torch. Meanwhile, the social conflict perspective see it in a different angle that they view education as a social conflict or a social class and also different upbringing or different labeling or different like for example ito nga the one with hidden curriculum and then the testing and the social inequalities and so on and so forth. So basically the social conflict just see more of differences rather than the unity that it possess or it offers. Okay. Meanwhile, the symbolic interactionism, or I mean, yeah, in symbolic interactionism perspective, it's almost the same as social conflict. Remove na lang the idea of there's bias or parang there's this inequality. Kasi in social conflict, they always view na A and B. Tapos there's this versus or there's this top one, top two. Like there's this inequality in social conflict. Parang negative nga sila, 'di ba? As what we discussed last time or in other subject. Meanwhile, in symbolic interactionism, it's more on lang the description of it. Like it's different, it's various, they're not the same. So things like that. So here is what I really want to focus on kasi the idea of formal and non-formal education. I recall nga when I'm teaching it to the batch of NICS, UCSP, we focus so much on formal kasi that's what we're experiencing. And then the non-formal, I use example nga last year as yung mga masteral level, doctorate level, because those people have their own job. No, so tendency they do not have really time to go to school every day and like that. So there are actually schools offering non-formal, meaning to say they will just give handouts to those master's degree holder and doctorate degree holder who wants to pursue their study. Tapos they're gonna study on their own pace. And then they will just submit the requirement or module, something like that. And then in the end, they will receive their diploma. So that's non-formal style. Tas majority of the thinking is like sa formal education. But now, imagine after 1 year, the world shifted, the education perspective shifted. Okay, so yan. Here in the non-formal education, yan, there's this idea that it is an open learning. Okay? For a while lang wait lang.
Based on it. Ay, Stephen,
Yes, eh.
Shopee, the LED strip lights.
I bought this guy. Yes, I bought this. Let's party. Ooh,
Sorry.
joke lang. Joke. Lights recording.
Ala.
Hala.
Go, Steven.
Hala.
Kisha kasi. Base pa si Muno eh.
I just said LED strip eh. Then you party.
Hello, sorry. Ay nako, pero I will have to I will have to go down and I'll just tell you na lang what is it about later. Pero yun, sige, let's maximize the remaining minutes before that person go in here again. So, yun nga. So what I'm trying to tell in here is the open learning is actually divided into two, the correspondence and distance. So open learning by its definition, it's very obvious na that it offers flexibility, self-governing, which I believe you are experiencing right now, because we are under non-formal education now, due to pandemic, 'di ba? We cannot go to school, so we rely on other resources. Fortunate of you kasi you categorize yourself in the distance learning. Okay. So in the distance learning kasi, we use different platform. So we do not just use module and then book and then you do your own thing. In the distance learning, we get to be very creative and multimedia. Naks, multimedia. So yun, that's the category of the distance learning. You get to study on your own pace with different medium and with the assistance of your teacher. Meanwhile, the correspondence, this is what the public school are experiencing. Actually, majority. They're not actually, some claim that they're doing online class. Actually, yung online class for lower year level. Mga grade 1, grade 2. And what I have noticed, mga grade 4 to 5 na, up until, modular sila, right? Or do you notice na may nag-online? Yes, Kisha.
Sir, ano po? Wait. My cousin po, sir, because last night and last 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 day, sir, she actually asked me po to answer and to teach her the module. Because sir,
Mm.
I'm asking sir if nag-online ba kayo like that? Nag-online class ba kayo? They said sir na yes, sometimes we're having online class but the teacher is not teaching. It's just that she's
Instructing
telling
lang na
the
do this, do
yes,
that.
instruction lang po on how to do the certain module,
Mm.
sir. And then after that, goodbye na, sir. Then
Mm,
they
mm.
themselves, sir, they will answer it na, sir. But there are like tasks in the module that they can't really understand. So they have to search it in Google na lang and then just copy na lang, write it na
Mm,
lang to the
mm.
point that they cannot learn anymore.
Yeah.
Just notice it.
Yes, that's why there's supposed to be a division between formal and non-formal. Kasi non-formal talaga for the for the higher order thinking skill somehow, like mga master's level and doctorate, someone that can really do their own, do their own learning. The problem kasi with the young ones, they cannot do that on their own. So may mga consequences talaga. But then again, as I keep on telling you, many people might complain about the setup, but we must not target the institution, the educational institution. The enemy in here is the COVID, the pandemic. And this is just like our parang other way lang to survive and not just be trapped in the situation that we are put into. Okay, lalabas at lalabas talaga the negative aspect of, or parang the disadvantages of this. Sooner or later, it will be more pa. Kaso we just really have to live with it. Okay. So yan, so correspondence, parang the modular setup, and then the distance learning is the one with multimedia approach. Okay. So here are like the other programs of education, but I am sensing I need to leave a little later. Pero naman, I'll let you know. Pero yeah, we could continue. Sige. So another program of education is ALS. Have you ever experienced to have like someone in your family who's like too old to study? So they just decided to take up an exam, and then when they pass the exam, automatic they're na in a higher year level. This is actually what Manny Pacquiao did. So Manny Pacquiao actually only finished, I think, up until elementary or early high school, but he wasn't able really to finish high school he's already a famous boxer na nung when he realized that. So we'll continue that info later. For a while lang
Crew, crew.
Keisha, quiet.
Shopee.
Ayan. Hello. Diyos ko. Hirap. Just imagine it na lang when we had our class. This is my CR time. Pero it's not CR eh. Pero I'll tell you later na lang. Do you have class after my class?
Teacher
Afternoon po.
Rovi. Teacher Rovi after lunch.
After lunch. Pero like around 11, after 11. I think I can ano naman eh.
No
No, no,
class.
no po.
Sige, sige. I'll renew the Zoom since it's already last 5 minutes. Tapos once we renew, same link, we'll continue this one na. No. Sige.